In the heart of Ikoyi, Lagos, beyond the gates of opulence and sophistication, stood the grand mansion of Chief Mrs. Morolake Ogunwande, one of Nigeria's most powerful women in the oil and gas industry. Her name opened doors, her wealth intimidated kings, and her voice, when raised, could silence an entire boardroom. But behind the gilded gates, darkness grew. When Tolu Ogunwande, Morolake's only son and heir, married Adeshawa Ajayi, it was the social event of the year. Adeshawa was beautiful. She was intelligent and from a respectable home. A graduate of Unilag with a first class in microbiology, she was soft-spoken and kind, a woman of depth and dreams. But from the moment she stepped into the Ogunwande household as a wife, she knew something was wrong. It began with icy silences. Then came the cutting remarks. You don't know how to greet properly. Were you not trained to kneel when greeting your elders? Moralake would say, eyes sharp. Adeshawa obeyed. She was humble. She tried. She endured. But as months turned into a year and no pregnancy came, Moralake's disdain turned into full-blown emotional warfare. You're eating Tolulope's money and giving nothing in return. You this empty barrel. Maybe you used jazz to trap him. Infertility runs in your family, doesn't it? Your mother had only 2 children, right? Her voice, always delivered in soft-spoken Yoruba, sliced sharper than any blade. At first, Tolu stood firm. He would hold Adeshawa's hands at night and say, don't mind her, we are together. God's time is the best. He defended her. He scolded his mum. He even threatened to move out. But Morolake was no ordinary woman. She began a slow calculated poisoning of Tolu's mind. She's causing your lineage, she whispered one night as she handed him a bowl of vegetable soup. Tolulope, you are my only son. No child means Ogunwande. Your father's name dies with you. Do you want that? She wept. She faked fainting spells. She claimed visions and dreams from prophets. Dreams of Adeshawa binding Tolu's destiny in chains. And slowly, Tolu began to change. He came home less. He stopped praying with her. He stopped talking to her. Stopped touching her. When she cried, he walked away. When she begged, he stared blankly. Adeshawa watched the man who once carried her over puddles walk past her tears like they were rain on marble. The staff gossiped. Her mother-in-law keeps bathing her in courses day in, day out, said the cook. She's even bringing him another girl, whispered the driver. I heard she's a pastor's daughter, fertile like a rabbit. Adeshawa began waking up in the middle of the night with chest pain and panic attacks. Her pillows soaked in tears, her hands trembling. She visited doctors. Nothing was wrong. No fibroids, no PCOS. Tubes were clear. Tolu refused to go for tests. I'm fine, he said coldly. You are the one with the problem. Then came humiliation. Morolake began inviting guests and prophets to the house. They poured oil on Adishawa's head, screamed, "She is a witch! She must be sent away for your son to rise." And still, Adishawa stayed. Why? Because love is a chain that sometimes binds tighter in suffering. Because hope is a cruel flame that flickers even in hurricanes. And after 8 years, Adeshawa was a shell of her former self. Skin pale, eyes sunken. She was no longer called wife, but that one. And then, one afternoon, while visiting her mother in Surulere, an old neighbor, Baba Ibeji, a very kind-hearted, soft-spoken elderly man, touched her hand and said softly, "Adeshawa, my child, I have watched you waste away. Your womb is not closed, but your home is cursed with wickedness." Adeshawa broke down. She confessed everything: the pain, the isolation, the dreams of throwing herself off Third Mainland Bridge. Baba Ibeji gave her a simple herb. No rituals, no chants, just hope. And he said, "Go back, prepare. You will carry more than your enemies can count." Adishawa went back, quiet, determined. She found solace in her own strength, began to pray again. She read, she laughed alone, she danced to old Asha songs in the kitchen. Morolake mocked her. Can you imagine? She's dancing without a child. Mad woman. But Adeshawa didn't answer. 2 months later, Adeshawa fainted. In the hospital, the doctor smiled for the first time in years. "Madam, congratulations, you are pregnant." She cried, laughed. She fainted again. But the miracle had only just begun. 4 months in, the ultrasound revealed triplets. 2 girls, 1 boy. When the news reached Morolake, she fell to her knees, her mouth open, her voice gone. When Tolu heard, he wept like a child. The day Adeshawa delivered, Lagos stood still. The triplets, Ayomide, Ayola, and Aderonke, were born healthy, radiant, and screaming into destiny. Morolake came to the hospital, dressed in white iro and gele, and knelt before Adeshawa. "I'm sorry, Adeshawa, my child," she cried. "Forgive me. I was blind with pride. I nearly destroyed you." Adeshawa looked at her, tears in her own eyes. "I forgave you a long time ago." Today, the Ogunwande household is filled with laughter. Tolu, humbled by grace, walks behind his wife at every family function. Morolake, now a devoted grandmother, spoils the triplets with reckless abandon. She prays with them every night and tells anyone who listens, "Please, do not mistreat your daughter-in-law. The womb only speaks when God commands it." Adeshawa runs a foundation for women battling infertility, Ìkúnlè Abiyamọ initiative, helping others find strength in the silence and hope in the shadows. And whenever anyone asks her, how she survived 8 years of torment. She smiles softly and says, because pain is a passage and joy is always on the other side.